I remember because I started doing Inja celebration.
Yeah.
I was there for some time, and then I knew when it was time for me to leave.
Sure.
My spirit knew that I'm not supposed to be here anymore. It was fighting me. Everything that I used to love about the place, I hated it.
There's just something about you that is far off beyond skill.
Yeah.
And you know about it.
It's a gift. I'm gifted. I have a gift. And now I'm comfortable in operating in my gift. I will invest so much in arts and culture. Because a nation that doesn't have that identity of who they are in their culture, that is translated into art, is for me dead.
This is your live show that you've worked on, is your show.
Yeah.
Concept. What is it gonna look like?
It's gonna feel more than look.
Brenda, I feel so honored, and the reason why I feel honored is not because I have you here, it's because I have you the way you look. Your nails, your jacket, for me it tells me, like queen, African civilization back in Egypt.
Back in
Centuries and centuries back.
I'm glad that you can still feel the Africanism in it.
Please tell me about it. What's with the gold and black?
Gold, like I'm exploring with color, with fashion, with just change. There's a lot of change in me that I feel, that I feel like I need to express in fashion, express in myself, That's why I take care of myself.
Yeah.
Like I'm calling it like increasing some value on who I am.
Do you want to talk about the change? What's changing, Brenda?
A lot mentally. A lot has changed in me. I'm not in a dark place that I was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I'm more lighter. I'm more smiley. I'm more happier. I'm more content. I wouldn't say happy. Actually, I would say more content.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know, and I wouldn't tell, and I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't know that you were in a dark place. Actually, we got the best of you.
Maybe I'm a good pretender. I'm a good pretender, but I was in a dark place, and I think I opened up about it a little bit.
Yeah.
But then because I became too vulnerable, and then I stopped everything. I was like, let's stop it.
Okay.
I don't want to portray that. And also it felt very personal. Some things, I want them to be personal. I want them to be like, I don't want people to know a lot about me.
The journey of being I don't want to say creative. I think creative, we loosely use the word.
Yeah.
But spiritually gifted, that you translate it to, you manifest with a voice. How does it feel to carry that weight, that maybe the dark place is not necessarily a dark place?
Yeah.
But it's actually a point where you're supposed to be.
Yeah. It's so strange that you are asking me that. I'm a person who believes in there's no coincidence in anything in my life. It's so strange that you're asking me that question when I was talking about it just now.
Wow.
So I said, as someone who is gifted, my job is to execute and take out the gift out. Mm-hmm. So if the gift is not coming out, I suffocate. It's suffocating inside of me. It can create disease. It can make me sick with anxiety, because the gift that I have becomes so powerful that it overwhelms me if it's not expressed.
The gift frustrates you when it wants to come out.
Definitely, or if it's suppressed.
Yeah.
Because everybody who's gifted, they want to, in a way, express and take it out to the people. But if it's suppressed, if you're fighting a lot of battles, like you want to do something, you can't. There's some financial struggles, one. Yeah. And then there's some political stuff that you're dealing with that. Sometimes you feel like you're being literally just pressed down. There are like politics within companies or whatever that you feel like you're being sabotaged. Yeah. There's a lot of things that happens within the space that we're in. Yeah. But if it's not expressed, it makes you sick.
Brenda, I want to ask you this on this point.
Yeah.
Do you feel responsible for not being, let me say, alert and discerning to the gift in warning you about specific places, environments, people, and wanting to be normal when you're not normal and allow yourself to get into these spaces? And your gift is pulling you away from that. And you being pulled away becomes a dark place.
You know, I never consider being pulled away a dark place. You know, I listen to my spirit. I listen to my gift. When I'm not supposed to be in a place, I don't pitch and I leave. You know, I think that's one thing about me that I'm proud of, that I would kill myself. Literally, it would be killing myself to put myself in the space. There was like a good example, and I'm going to be just open about it. I remember because I started in Joyous celebration.
Yeah.
I was there for some time, and then I knew when it was time for me to leave.
Sure.
And
it was easy.
Nobody fired me or anything like that. But I knew, my spirit knew that I'm not supposed to be here anymore. It was fighting me. Everything that I used to love about the place, I hated it. It didn't even become my comfort space anymore. It became my frustration. It frustrated me.
It was done.
Yeah, it was done. You know, there's nothing wrong with the whole thing. It was just my spirit that was saying, it is time for us to move to the next direction. And I listened to that. I said, okay, I'm listening to that. And I didn't have a plan, by the way.
Wow.
But I own it. My gift. I own it as, okay, fine, we're going.
It seemed as though you had a plan, because I remember your cover very well.
Yeah.
It was green.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
And it was proper.
Yeah.
Things were flying.
It always looks
really
like
seemed
that.
like you did have a plan.
Honestly, with me, I think it always looks perfect. I don't know whether I can call that my guardian angels or whatever, but it looks good all the time. When it's actually, if I can tell you the story behind everything, you're like, really? You know, I struggled on that album. It took me 3 years to release an album that I've already recorded. Because of the struggle that I had to go through to release that album.
Okay.
But I don't know, when you receive it, it comes with the courage. You feel the courage in the music. So it looks like, oh my God, this woman just came with these amazing songs, and then she's singing these songs so powerfully. But I sing them sometimes with conviction because of the whole experience that I had to go through to get to that point.
That is one of your best albums. The songs that you have there have touched so many people.
Yeah.
And I think has elevated you to maybe, let me say, the place where you are today.
Yeah, and it's so sad that it's also the album that didn't make it.
Interesting.
But it was well recorded by the best of the best. It was recorded so beautifully, but it didn't get as much recognition. And
talking about that, do you think it's because of Joyous celebration that your transition away from what people are used to? Did that have an influence?
There could be an influence of confusion from people, as not knowing what is this girl on about, right? That number one. Number two, it was the fact that I was not signed in a way, you know, but I was given a good opportunity to do what I wanted to do. I was given okay, Brenda, we are just literally offering you this opportunity because we believe in you. It's up to you what you do with it.
I see.
So everything that I had to do, it was up to me what I'm doing with it. Because they're like, this is not our space is this one. But we believe in what you are doing, and we really love what you are doing. So can we support you, but can you be a driving force? At that time, obviously, I'm coming straight from being a backing singer to being a lead. So everything that I did on that first album was just like you know when you're figuring something out? Yeah.
You make mistakes while you're actually on the way.
Yeah.
Brenda, I want to uncover your spirituality.
Yeah.
I feel personally You don't want to talk about it the way you should. And I haven't heard you or anybody really get into it.
Yeah.
There's just something about you that is far off beyond skill.
Yeah.
And you know about it. What do you say about that?
It's a gift. I'm gifted. I have a gift. And now I'm comfortable in operating in my gift.
Okay.
I'm very much comfortable in operating in my gift. My gift, I have a gift of healing. It does not translate as I'm going to sangoma, but I've got a gift of pure healing. Like I have it, you know. Yeah, like I discern. I know when something's going to happen, you know. Like it's like I get informed about things, about space, about people. You know, I'll be in a room and I know that I have to leave this room. I'm not supposed to be in this room. I'll be amongst certain people. I'm like, I know I'm not supposed to be here. You know, so sometimes that gift can be loosely translated into Hambo Twaza. No, we all have that ancestral presence within us, all of us. All of us.
What you call Josie.
Yes. What we call amadlos. Yes. You know, we come from somewhere. So we cannot deny certain things about ourselves. Because there are certain things that define me that are not about me. That are about my ancestors. That, like, I can tell you my music, where it comes from.
Okay.
You know, like my grandmother, when she looks at me when I sing, she's like, like, meaning my grandfather is coming out. You know, like
lovely.
That how she calls it, you know, because like, but because I don't have that experience of Johannes mean personally.
Yeah.
But my grandmother, who's 93 years, has.
She can identify.
So she can identify. She can see, like she can see, and sometimes she told me, she said, I have a manpower. Like I have that masculinity about me, that's very strong.
Present.
You know, I must always even ask to say they must take it down because I'm a woman. I need that softness about me, that, you know,
tender
vulnerability. Exactly, but because like I appear strong and I'm very strong. I will tell you that. Not strong as in nyalo. I don't fight, but I'm strong.
Yeah.
I do feel strong too. I do feel like that, and I don't have to do anything. That's the thing about it. I don't have to walk a certain way. I don't have to do anything. I don't have
to raise your voice.
Yes, like yeah. I don't have to. It's just there. Like it's either you're gonna be strong, especially if you're my man. You're gonna be strong and be a man and operate in your manhood, or I'll just intimidate you.
Talking about your gift, Brenda.
Yeah.
What's coming out now that you know maybe your growth in your spirituality and understanding the gift? And actually I feel like English is limiting us.
Yeah.
You know, linguistics, language is kind of taking us.
English is a way of putting what we want to say in a very different way.
Yeah.
Everything gets loosely translated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your next show.
Yeah.
On stage.
Yeah.
Brenda Mtambo coming back.
Yeah.
This is your live show that you've worked on, is your show. Concept. What is it going to look like?
It's going to feel more than look.
Wow.
Because, like, I think with me, it's not even about looks. You know, I always tell my makeup artist, don't make me look pretty. Okay, I can be pretty, but don't make it. It's not about being pretty for me, you know. I just want to express a feeling. Like there's something in me that we keep. You know, but everyone else in the room, they get to experience that kind of healing. So each show my next show has a lot of spirituality. Like you can feel it. Actually, I had the 10th year celebration now recorded, right? The room, I cannot. even myself, I don't know what happened on the show. Because the whole room, there was a shift in the room.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know if, to some people they call it Holy Spirit. I'm not sure if it's Holy Spirit. Because that's what I always try to do as well. To say, because I sing for everybody. And I believe that our souls are just our souls. You know? You can be a Christian, you can be a Muslim, you can be anything, but you have a soul.
Yeah.
You know? And your soul, that's where my calling is in the soul. I touch your soul. And
the healing is...
The healing, you receive that. It's not conformed into a certain religion. Do you understand?
Yeah,
so
I
if
get you.
Sangoma, Sikon, they also feel like they're accommodated somehow
in their own genre,
in their own space.
Yeah.
All right. So that's what my shows are about.
That's
all
deep.
the time.
Yeah.
That's why you'll find like everyone in the space. You find Abazalwane, you find Mtoi Sangoma, you'll find anyone on my shows. And that is why I even said on my last show, the reason why I didn't choose gospel as a genre, because it was going to limit my gift. It was going to contain it, yes, because it means now I need to sing for people who know what I'm singing about. But sometimes there are people who I need to sing to, who will feel, who need to feel, who need to heal. But also they are not Christian like me.
Yeah.
They're not Christian like you. They are not into that space. But they are feeling, you know, because of everything that we all carry. You know, we all carrying something. You know, we didn't just pop up. You know,
there's something.
There's something within all of us.
You know, Brenda, Mams Bongile, the late Mams Bongile Komalo.
Yeah.
I think I can identify.
Yeah.
And put you with her. When you talk, your presence just reminds me of her.
I loved her so much. I love Mams Bongile.
Yeah.
I love Mams Bongile, and she knew.
What's your experience? Can you relate to her spiritually as well?
I can. I think her journey became spirituality, in terms of spirituality. But I cannot confirm because spiritual things are personal. If someone doesn't talk about them, you never know, you know. But I can relate to her, and I feel like actually people who, you know, witness what I do, they always associate it with her. That you go somewhere sometimes, like Mama Spongile used to do that. Like she would leave us in the room. It feels like she's somewhere else, you know, when she sings. And just, it happens in the voice. Sometimes you don't know. It's uncontrollable. Like my voice goes everywhere. Like I don't think about a lot of things. I just feel them. You know, they are me. They are in me. Nyazis, or like Nyazis. Like, I'm not like other singers who think about race and all these things. I don't.
You follow the spirit.
I pray. I just say, I pray.
Yeah.
And then once I've prayed, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brenda, right now, I feel like that live music somehow is coming back.
Which music?
More and more live performances.
Oh, live performances, yeah.
Let me say, you know, concerts and where people are actually going out to listen to live music. I think people are starting to open up back again to go into theater, go into concerts, you know, doing all of the outing and listening to live music. If you were a minister of arts and culture, what would your day look like? Your month, your year?
You know, it's so strange.
Arts and culture, not just music.
These questions, they're coming when I was talking about this thing just now. Okay, let me talk about me as, all right, as a minister. I would invest so much in arts and culture, because a nation that doesn't have that identity of who they are in their culture, that is translated into art is for me dead. Like if you look at countries who have like high quality of musicians, the industry is big, you must check. It's big because of their culture. In Nigeria, Nigerians everywhere in the world, you'll feel their presence. You'll feel their sound. You know, they are embraced home, and they become superstars. So, and they contribute into the economy. The thing about where we are, people think this is a hobby. They think this cannot contribute.
It's entertainment.
They think yes, entertainment is a huge part of our economy. It can contribute greatly into our economy. But then everything else needs to change then with our laws, how the music is perceived. This is not like a hobby, you know? It's not.
There's message in the songs,
ancient,
in the paintings.
Like history that is carried by songs, that in nation that need to live by. Right now, I'll be honest with you, like there's a frustration that I have around just youth, just young people. We are buzzing. Everything is like this.
Twerk.
Everything is buzzing.
Fast.
You know why? People are always drunk. There's always like the whole country is dancing. Yeah. So we are in the bounce, and everything is falling down. Nobody is paying attention because everyone is. There's no stability. There's no stability. You know, and arts and culture is a definition of who we are. You know, if you know who you are, the direction of where you need to be becomes clearer. So I'll definitely invest in that. I'll invest you know what's going to happen, and it's happening already. The people are going to come and steal now not our land, and steal our culture, and then sell our culture back to us.
It's happening.
It's happening.
We were just talking about that with Billy.
Yeah.
And the book that is written, that he couldn't find references in libraries. Yuma Sigela, Miriam Makeba, you know, we're studying about Herbie Hancock, you know, all of these guys, but none of our African music and rhythms, timing. We're
gonna go and buy now, not our land that we are busy singing about and crying about. There's gonna be, and we're gonna now need to go and find out who we are. That is our children.
They will be buying culture.
Yeah, they will be buying like who you know. It's the same thing that sometimes you find Americans coming here because they find that their identity is actually here, but they need to come and find themselves, you know, and like actually I can identify with you. I feel like I'm home, you know, in your presence. We are losing everything, unfortunately, and this has got nothing to do with the fact that we have dance music. What is our dance music saying? What are we saying? What are we talking about?
The message.
We have no message.
It's empty.
The reason, I mean, the moment you have a message, it's boring. You know why?
Sure.
It's boring. It doesn't appeal. Apparently, it's not commercial enough. I'm like, what is commercial?
When it has communication, when it has purpose, when it has teaching.
Yeah.
It's boring.
It's boring.
You can't sell it.
Yeah. If you can set now a seminar, we are just like learning about who we are, everything that we need to learn as Africans. And you call all the young people, no one will pitch.
Is it an agenda that is meant to say commercial suppresses history and culture in our songs? It was intentional that we have songs that just bounce and there's no message, so we can lose it.
You know, in terms of broadcast, because that plays a big role, you know? Broadcast is the main, like, fundamental space that can, you know, curate all these things that we are talking about. So whatever that we are given, I was telling the driver that was driving me. Actually, this conversation, I feel like a continuation of what I was talking about. Whatever that we are given, we become immune to it. Like our blood, understand everything. It becomes natural. So if it doesn't have a groove or something that will make me feel like I'm losing a bit of my mind, it's not fine.
It's been instilled now.
It's been instilled in children. So they're growing up with this no culture of nothing.
This is awareness.
Yeah.
For me too, in the car, everywhere, is you gotta have groove.
It is a groove. The kids, everything, like TV, everything is screaming, confuse them. We are, I don't know, like I'm not sure if I'm explaining it in a way that is understandable. Do you get it? I was saying, hip hop, for instance, in America, it was as a result of their struggle. So they were talking about the thing that they were going through at that time. Music is supposed to do that. Music is supposed to, right now I always see musicians want to be politicians and they try to do all these things. And I'm like, your gift, your purpose is to take what you see and bring awareness. Because our culture, so even this we see huba, ingena easily in our blood and to feel like and the ears, and
the subconscious.
Thank you. That is why during apartheid, there's a lot of songs that were sung there, because they had to be. You had to sit and think, and then hear a melody. That's that pushes you. That's why Mhlaba makes us cry, because of why was it sung? Do you understand? I'm not saying we need to be people who doesn't experience life joyfully and whatnot, but also we can't be a twerking nation.
Everywhere you go is twerk.
Right? We can't be a twerking nation and then expect to, in 20 years, 30 years, to have a proper country that is functional.
China, TikTok, they control the algorithm. That means that China is intentional about what pops up on your TikTok. Not just any video.
Anything.
So with us, anything goes. Actually, we are given to when you open your social media timeline, this is the type of content you need to see. Is groove. You go on the other side is nudity.
Thank you.
You go on the other side, is killings, is that.
It does feel like intentional. It does feel like it's an intentional move, But then, are we aware of that? Are we seeing that? And it feels like that. It feels like, okay, it's a killing them slowly. Someone is killing you with something that you like.
It does.
Yeah, so just add more.
Yeah.
That's what is happening.
What do you stand for? What is this season of your life right now?
Oh God.
Let's not talk about the future.
Yeah.
Right now.
Right now, what do I stand for?
Yeah.
I stand for, number 1, equality. Number 2, truth. Number 3, identity. Identity, I that's what I stand by. I want, yesterday I was invited to perform at the film Joburg Film Festival, and there was everyone obviously who knows me from here at home, but the people who were moved was someone who said, "We're from Senegal. Wow. We don't know we don't understand what you're saying, but we are moved by what you're saying." It's identity. When this person is going to leave and go back home with a sense of understanding who we are, Tina, as Africans. We are not clothes. We are not sometimes even language. But we are deeper than that. We are deeper than that. There are certain things that define, that my grandmother tells me, mangikhuluma naye athi kunezinto ezichaza thina ubuntu bethu. Yabo umuntu ukuhlupheka kona into engabe sinayo thina as abantu abamnyama, it does not define who we are. You understand?
That's deep.
Besingenayo imali kodwa besingahlupheki. Meaning bebetshala. Well, that's why they can be 90 something strong. They had good food, organic food that they had. And
medicine.
And also, exactly,
Proper medicine.
Yeah. They were able to just do their own things, their own way. Like, even now at home, kokuyabasa, ati, okunye ukudla akuphumi kahle if ingabaswanga ngumlilo, udinga umlilo natural. So when I bought a microwave, for instance, she said, I'm not going to use microwave. And she's not educated. She didn't go to school. I said, why? I don't understand the philosophy of 1 minute something and then it's cooked.
And it's hot.
What it's going to do when it comes to my body, what does it do to my body?
And we end with that.
Yeah.
Brenda, you and I need to have a long conversation. I told you on the phone, there will be a second call.
Okay.
To talk about 2 different things.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. This was very deep for me.
Yeah.
Not for me, not deep. It's what I talk about, but I never talk about those things on camera. But
now you did.
Yeah.
I'm glad I assisted in taking it out. I guess it was a continuation of the conversation we had today.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Brenda, thank you so much.
Woo, it's heavy.
We're about to talk about